of this exercise is to know the facts. Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions if you so desire.
Don't worry about what people say about Lofa Country. Don't worry. Me and Lofa Country. I am a son of Lofa Country. Lofa Country, when I live here, you will know that I am a true son of Lofa Country. The government that you put in place, the government is working for you. This is the pro government, and this is your government. I can tell you, me and my able vice president, we are set a record already. This country, since 1847, a lot of people had different possibilities, they were leaders of the country. Some have 50 years, some 12. But we are set a record in the 3 years. Even with a global pandemic, we are performing well. We're not making shame. This is a team that you put together. And this is a winning team. This is a winning team. We have a good striker and a good midfielder. I am a good striker. My vice president is a good midfielder. And the ball can get to me. Every time I need the ball to strike, she's right there to pass me the ball. And this is the team that we have. We have a good team. How can you say that this president don't know anything when around the president, when they have those people that you consider to be intelligent people? You say the vice president is very clever woman, she's intelligent. Don't you think if I run the vice president, I will be intelligent too? You don't think so? Every day you say the foreign minister, that was clever. But I run the foreign minister, you think I'll be clever too? So everything that we're doing, you see in place because you got different type of people on the table. Those that have practical knowledge and those that have theoretical knowledge. And this is why your country is working. We want to make you proud. We want you to be proud of us. We want Liberia to develop. The day we make an ultimate decision that we are not here no more, when we walk in the street of Liberia, no one will point finger. Every time they say something, we are about to say, you see this guy, they was the best government. And we want to be the best government for you. We'll do our best for you. We'll make sure that the local county that everybody loves will be a good place.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Khan Oliver Kai. Princess Alexa Vanjakoli is pretty seated, and of course, today we have a wonderful edition coming your way. It is a wonderful weather in the nation's capital, Monrovia. Wherever you are, however you are joining the conversation, what a pleasant way to welcome you to the July 18 edition of the program Freedom Hub. Good afternoon, Bapalu. Good afternoon, Nimba County. Good afternoon, Bassa Riverses. Good afternoon, Sino, Bong, Nimba, Bombing, Grand Cape County, Magibby County, and the rest of Greater Montserrat. Wherever you are, however you are joining the conversation, people, what a pleasant way to welcome you, including all of our folks in the diaspora. There are too many issues we're going to be talking about today. A lot of issues confronting the Republic will be under the spotlight on today's edition. We're going to be looking into what transpired in Ganta City and Nimba County, and that is going to form part of the discussion today. In addition to that, we're going to be having a crystal clear analytical analysis of the statement that was made by Senator DeLong in the chambers of the Liberian Senate when he argued that bulk of the projects in the country will bear the president's name, will have the president taking all of the attributes, leaving the Liberian Senate, and according to him, those who will always pass the laws on the sideline. Yes, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking more about it. We are equally going to be calling on the government of Liberia, specifically the authorities at the Ministry of Public Works, to look into the situation involving the Busro Island. I remember some times ago, the Honorable Liberian President George Weah himself drove to the free port of Monrovia, right opposite the compound of the free port. And the Liberian leader was able to make a declaration instructing the Ministry of Public Works to do something on that road. As it is, we are encountering a lot of difficulties. And it is upon us today to call on the Minister proper, Madam Ruth Coker Collins, to do the honorable thing. We're going to be having more of these conversations right here on 87.9. We take a few bars of our theme song. By the time we return here, people, it is going to be a wonderful, wonderful edition here on 87.9.
Hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-side justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Simon.
Okay, all right. So one peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. Alexa, good afternoon, and thanks for the gift.
Oh, really? Now you're putting me on the spotlight.
Oh, yeah. Alexa got a very nice, nice pair of Italian shoes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, you're welcome as much as I hate to be on the spotlight for.
You bought me Italian
like
shoes. So what's the issue about it?
I mean, welcome. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you who are following Freedom Hub today's edition on 87.9 FM. We would like to say to all of our folks who are joining from the 15 political subdivisions, we'd like to say welcome to Freedom Radio Liberia. And however way you're joining us, to our followers in the diaspora, I would like to say welcome to this edition of the program Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM, Freedom Radio Liberia via Facebook and YouTube. We've been away for a couple of days. Yeah, specifically.
You didn't tell the people where you went to.
Well, I had some professional business to handle.
Yeah.
I was sent by Oliver Kine.
Jesus Christ.
And of course, here I am. It's a pleasure being back home. Is definitely amazing being back on the radio. I mean, we've missed all of you a whole lot, and we're also aware that you missed us a lot. So here we are today with a full package of exactly what has been happening in Liberia. I mean, from the cabinet retreat in Ganta City, Nima County, to Senator Darius Dillon making some different statements as to why some of the different projects in this country, according to him, will be named after the president directly, and disregarding the involvement of the Senate or people who are contributing to all of the different policies and making sure different budgets are passed to have these projects implemented. But however way you're joining us, we'd like to say welcome. We have a whole full package, and it is definitely great being back here.
Okay, it is definitely great being back to the country. Says
I don't know how you putting me on this spotlight.
No, but what is it? Adra Vanjakali.
Where have you been?
Princess Alexa Adra Vanjakali.
Where have you been? I mean, you've been away for a week.
Yeah,
too.
but I was not okay. We apologize.
Yeah, sure. We sincerely apologize for
let me apologize.
not being here.
No, let me apologize. I apologize. It is an unforeseen issue.
Right.
Coincidentally, when Alexa was in the airplane, I was having boils. Fever followed, and we had to take some time off to rest, do some medication, and we're back on the radio.
But we're back, and
yeah.
we say sorry to all of you. And you guys were not really aware, probably when we left the radio, but it was not really something really planned. We didn't want to leave the radio just like that. However, we have different interruptions in life.
So you were doing your professional business.
Yes, of course.
So
I went to handle something, and of course, it was successful. So it's good being back.
Yeah, especially when my shoes came. So the president was in Ganta the entire last week. The Liberian leader was in Ganta City, Nimba County, for the government's cabinet retreat. The 2022 edition of the cabinet retreat was held, and there were too many issues. Bulk of the ministries and agencies reported in a 5 minutes presentation per ministry, reported on their successes. One may say their achievement. They were able to highlight their achievement. They were able to catalog their plans for the future, and equally, some of them were able to spell out the challenges they are encountering in administering the affairs of the different offices assigned to them by the president. Now, unfortunately for us, Alexa and I, we were unable to be on the radio right when the cabinet, retreat was already, ongoing. And it is our fervent hope that that retreat will meet the anticipated result, which is intended to have government officials afforded the opportunity wherein they will 100% understand the importance of the places they were sent to work. And that is just the plain essence. This is similarly connected to what is normally done in sports. When people are playing basketball, when you have people playing soccer, or better still football, there are moments where they go back to the lockers room, they go back to the dressing room, if you may say, during the halftime period. The coaches will come and talk to the players, make them to understand some of the players who are, very, 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 ineffective in the game. Those players who are not actively involved, those players who are not producing the results, in some instances will be replaced after the halftime. In this case of the government, it is not our responsibility to tell the coach. In this situation, Coach George Weah, it is not our responsibility to tell the governmental coach in who to be replaced, who's tired, who's not doing whatever the case is. But the very proper agenda for prosperity and development, which is a matter on which this government is proceeding, should be used as the template in making that determination. And I think the president is wise. In his own time, he's going to take appropriate actions. But as we wind down on the post-retreat analysis, before we jump into other issues, it is a recommendation, for the foremost of our country, not to the office of the president, because I told you he has that statutory responsibility on our laws to appoint, dismiss, and suspend. It is his power. Wanting to tell him to use it is like you wanting to be president at the same time. But here's what I have to say to bulk of the people who are, presidential appointees. And it's good we're not spending more time on this issue, right, Alexa? When you are privileged to be given a presidential appointment, when the president of Liberia, whoever the president is, right, when the president decides to have his cabinet constituted, and out of the entire 5.some million people in this country, and the president chooses to say, hey, Alexa Vanja-Colley is going to be deputy minister for children and social protection at the Ministry of Gender, or whatever the case is, or any ministry, or say, oh, Kine, you're going to be the EPS director, or whatever the case. No, I don't want to be EPS director. But just in case, right? So if I'm not a security man, so that was just a slip of tongue.
Right.
So Kine, you're going to be something somewhere. Once you are privileged to be given that presidential preference, it says a lot about confidence. It says a lot about national responsibility, and it is not a calling that should be treated carelessly. And I see bulk of the folks in authority. If not, I see a significant portion of those who were appointed not knowing exactly why they were appointed, not knowing exactly what to contribute, and in some instances, they are zero to the system. Now, when you do that, you give the appointing power too much embarrassment. You embarrass the one who sent you there, because in some instances, when you start to blunder, when you start to misbehave, people will not look at your ineffectiveness, your inability to run the area correctly. They'll want to just judge, your performance on the basis of the person who's saying, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, this and that. So you should not make somebody's good intention to give you job end up hunting the very person. Because sometimes when you mess up, they say, oh, Joey, I mean, not know anything, nothing to know. So when you are giving a particular job to do it to the utmost, best. That's what you should do, because it is these single contributions that you will make. When you are a minister of X, minister of Y, director this, it is as a result of your individual job that you will do that will sum up to the national achievement. So if each minister will say, I'm not working, what will happen is that when you multiply all of the ministers that will say, I will not do my work correctly, by the number of ministers appointed, you're going to have, D, or perhaps you're going to have F in terms of the general performance. But when you have each minister saying, I'm going to do the best of my ability, even go beyond, to ensure that my area is going to be intact, if you multiply that by the number of ministers appointed, on a general scale, you're going to have good performance, from the entire system. So that's why it is important for everybody on the team to be at their best. This thing is similar to football. You can have the best goalkeeper, you can have the best defenders. Sometimes a single midfielder sluggishness can lead to the team conceding a vital goal that may lead to a terrible defeat, for the team. You can have all of the good players. If the goalkeeper is messy, the players will do all of the defending. The least mistake you have is going to be a goal. If the striker is just wasteful, I mean, he's not good at scoring. The defense will play the ball. The midfield would do the distribution. The wingers will take it up to the striker. That striker sitting up there with he good for nothing, so will just keep hitting the post or blowing it over the post or punching it on the goalkeeper. So you will need at least everybody on the team to be at their average performance. When that is done, the team is going to perform on an average basis, and you're going to have progress being recorded. So I don't believe, those who are of the opinion that the issue in Ganta was for pageantry. No, I don't want to subscribe to that. People say the minute you go Ganta to go drink, go, chill, go see the new role of the president being, go visit Prince Joseph Small, we go for long, go there. So people have that opinion. I'm not sharing that, right? But the way we will dispel or that perception is when those of you who went to the retreat, those of you the appointees, is when you come back with a new mindset, and that mindset should be backed by real productivity. We should see the results. So if your ministry was sleeping and you were not, actively involved, we should start to see some form of changes, some form of developmental changes within the areas you were sent to work. And that's how the country is going to get, developed, Alexa. On this issue before we go to the next conversation.
Okay, so I like your fact that we're not really going to, spend a lot of minutes on this whole cabinet retreat. But I mean, prior to the cabinet retreat, we had a lot of different things we talked about. And for me personally, I had to talk about two major things, and you just talked about them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I was really talking about is the fact about the progress, as well as different challenges, being available at the different ministries we have and agencies of government.
That's correct.
So, I mean, prior to the retreat, I made several different statements. And one of the strongest ones I said, in my opinion, was the retreat was meant to have different reports from different ministers and different directors to the president directly, because he has the appointing power. And whenever we have these ministers, to give reports, sometimes whenever we have the president present, Oliver, they will say things that they want the president to hear. And basically, people who are in the public would know exactly what is going on and what is not going on. So at the end of the day, people try to put different reports together just to impress the president. So I was really, being clear on that one, that we should not really have people at the cabinet retreat to just, have different presentations and just say different things based on exactly what they have discussed in their ministry to say to the president, because that's the essence. You have to give reports annually, right? You have to, make sure you're going to talk about your progress level. You're going to, have available challenges and how you can have different remedies to, solving all of the different problems you will have in your ministry. So basically, there were a couple of different presentations at the cabinet retreat, and we were not there, but we followed exactly, and we saw different presentations from different ministers. So there's just one thing I would like to say, and I think it goes across to all of the different ministers who have been appointed by the president, right? Because the fact that you're even working in this government, it means you have been, employed by Liberians, because the president was voted by Liberians. And whenever you are appointed by the president, you have been employed by Liberians. So that definitely sends out a message that you have to do the job properly. And we cannot really go without different challenges. There are challenges, but your best has to be done, and you have to do it to understand where you will have people to feel the impact. I mean, there are a couple of different ministries who not really want to call out the names of the ministries right now, but we've been on this platform, Oliver, countless times, talking about different ministries that are really trying the best and to contribute to, the welfare of citizens, as well as, the growth of this government. We've also pointed out different ministries that are just there, and there's no progress. It's more like your presence, your absence, just the same, and it doesn't really add up. It doesn't really minus whatever, because you're just there. And at a point, we think these are people who would try to ruin the image of the government, Oliver, because you cannot have one of the ministries in government that is a factor to contributing to sustainable development, contributing to economy, contributing to adding values to the lives of citizens. And at the end of the day, you don't have people people to bring out a perfect reports where you will have, oh, this is exactly what we've done over the period, and this is exactly where we have already stopped because we have these challenges. So what I really noticed, some of the different minutes they gave to the ministries to give their reports. I mean, some of the things, some of the ministries really said over there.
Mhm.
Basically, we know that's exactly not what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But they needed to have said something because you had the president. So I would just like to end on this note.
Mhm.
All of these different things happening, all of the different ministries we have, they are really cardinal to the progress of Liberia, as well as the government and the president, because you cannot just have a single person just playing a game. You have different players who are there to help in the process. You have different people who are there to give their own moral support, and all of those different things. So all of the people who are ministers who have been appointed by the president, I think this is a time where people have to focus on the job that is to be done,
Mhm.
and people are to do it as they were appointed to do so, because that is the job. The same way we're here every day behind these microphones talking every day, that is our job, right?
Mhm.
So we have to be here. So we're here every time. So you have to do your job as you're supposed to do your job. Do not do your job like that is a favor you're doing for Liberians. No, rather you're privileged to be a minister. You're privileged to be a director. So you're supposed to work in the best interest of Liberians to help this country progress, to help this country move forward, and to also have Liberians to benefit from whatever national resources we have in this country. So if you're not really ready to work right now, I think you can just kind of resign, or you just tell the president, hey, I mean, at the beginning of this, I really thought I was
Attire.
going to.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
You
you.
can say attire.
I'm tired.
Tell the president
I'm
retire.
seriously tired, because it goes back to the appointing power,
Yeah.
and people will question, hey, the president's doing this.
Maybe sometimes the president want to give you chance,
Yes, there's always a moment
perhaps
to give someone
perhaps
a
he's
chance.
gonna change.
Yes.
Perhaps she's gonna change. But sometimes you deep down you're tired. So
You're tired, so just say, "Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I
it's-
cannot do this any longer."
Yeah.
And definitely, you'll be out, and you have a couple of qualified people, Oliver.
Mhm.
They're ready to serve. They're ready to give back. They're ready to do exactly what they're supposed to do, because you're not really in the moment where you will say, "I'm tired," because you're having a benefit and you don't want to let that to go.
Yeah, so
you just gotta
once
stay
you
there
want to keep
and
taking the pay, do the job accordingly. Yeah,
please do.
we gotta
beg you.
we gotta take 6 calls on this issue. Then we come back. We
Yes.
we
so-
handle the Sandra Delonge issue. But when the president was returning from when he was still in Nimba, some part of Nimba, he went to do something, and between me and you, it was very, 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 very interesting. The president went to do something, and I want you guys to listen to it. The president bought coconut and roasted cassava. But Alexa, between me and you,
Very relatable.
one thing that got to me was when the president asked the woman for change. President, we are getting her LD. Woman change. Woman said no change. That two pieces are giving you $50 for one, so no change in it. But I want you to listen. Then when we come back, we take just 6 calls on this issue.
Oh my God.
It's just intended to spice up the show. But listen to the president buying cassava and coconut. Listen.
Don't get coconut? No coconut?
They gave me one black plastic.
President is purchasing.
So now get me this.
President is purchasing.
So now get me this.
So you heard it? So Carrasco is just saying the president is purchasing, cassava, yeah, Carrasco is trying to explain how the president purchasing. Probably just go ask on the question on the ground. So you're not giving me change. Raw Jabata with the assy. No presidential English, nothing. Oh. You not give me. So I want you to just kill it, right? If you are listening to the radio, pay real attention. You hear the president asking that question on the cover. So you not give me change. The woman too. The woman to say that too.
Not too also.
No change for two. 50 for one. Listen to it.
purchasing
So now give me change. Now give me change. So now give me change.
president is purchasing
So now give me change.
So you not give me change. Yeah, what is it?
president
No problem now. No problem now.
president is purchasing
So now give me change.
So, so you not give me change. 2 pieces. Call us on 086. Why you looking for Alexa?
I mean, this is just something that is relatable. Like it happens to any ordinary person. Like
And like the lady herself was confused.
your president, why you been asking
No,
for
no,
change?
not-
Doesn't look at it that way.
No, it's not about even the change, right? So the first thing that happened to the woman was president buying cassava.
Right.
Rosa cassava from
That
him.
was
That was
a shocking
already a
moment.
mind-blowing situation
shocking
for her.
moment.
I mean, she was just overwhelmed by that.
Like seriously.
You know, then
was.
the president turned around and said, "No coconut." She said, "I ain't
No,
got
we'll have to
coconut."
check the other
So I
side.
check your other side. You know, after a few minutes, he came out and said, "You giving me?" You be out for the change and say, "You giving me?" No, I don't want to misquote the president. I can go to jail for that, right?
Man say you're not giving me
No, listen, no, you can go to jail for misquoting the president. Let's get exactly what the president said. I come in, y'all call, listen.
So now give me change.
Okay.
So now give me.
president is purchasing
So now give me change.
So, I mean, a crew with an ass here.
Give
So,
me
so you not give me change.
You may want to know.
Yeah,
like,
and look, but listen to me, Alexa. The woman and the president didn't have any prior conversation.
no, he just
So
wanted
the-
to purchase
so the way-
cassava.
So my
and
issue
coconut.
is, so like that, you tell him, I say, just wait. If the woman gave you the change,
No need to wait.
no, the president should have waited. At least if the woman get a change.
No need to
Hey,
wait.
no, listen.
need to
Now,
wait.
if the woman had not given him change, by then, but you see, the woman still wrapping the cassava in the
So
plastic.
here is it, right?
Mhm.
The fact that the president went to purchase cassava, right?
Uh-huh.
That was a shocking moment for the lady who was selling the
So
vendor.
she was passing
So-
the
So
cassava
after that, no,
in the plastic.
trust me, she
Uh-huh.
did not really expect the president would ask, any question about getting change or getting balance. Like she did not really realize that was going to be asked.
So
So the president didn't want to, just allow the expectation to flow.
Uh-huh.
He needed to ask because he had already bought from her, and they never had any previous arrangement.
And that's how when you go to
how
buy,
much-
when you
how
go to
much this is.
when you go to buy, what's
No,
the,
I've done that before.
so you've
I've done that
asked the
before.
seller, so you're not giving me
Like,
change,
yes, I've asked before.
and you
I've
said
done-
it the way the president said it. So
No,
you're not giving me.
not as he said it, but I've
The,
said that
the
before.
president was sounding, crewman in that, so you're not giving me change. In the good time, so you're not giving me change when the seller talk anything.
That- Yeah, I know what I mean.
When the seller say anything, 2 rolling in the sand.
That was ordinary, like really was.
But that's what it is. Call us. We had to say our mind on the retreat issue. Let's take 6 calls on it. When we come back, saying that they don't say something that needs to be, spoken about. We need to talk more about it. The country just some kind of way. But we'll talk that issue later. Let's take 6 calls here on 87.9. For those of you listening, you can join us across the country. Join us on 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 are the numbers to join us from across the country, including 0770 297 016, 0770 297 016 are the numbers to join the conversation. Those of you out of the country can join us on +231 880 500 104 +231 86 500 104 to be a part. Let's take the next 7 calls. Just pressing. Hello, 1 minute.
Yeah, Khan, how you doing, man?
We're great. What's the name and where do you join us from, Chief?
My name is Amos Morris. I'm calling you from New York. I can't.
Okay, New York. Go ahead from America.
Yeah, Khan, to be frank, the retreat was necessary. But my take is the president had been having a series of retreat, and he had been making pronouncements to the Liberian people about people not performing. They will have to leave the team, and he making another pronouncement again. I think it's about time that the president take his pronouncement serious in how much we support him for his re-election.
Mhm.
It is clear that a lot of people on the team are not performing. I mean, he owed no allegiance. They owe allegiance to Liberia and also to him as president. If he feel that they are not performing, most especially on these critical time, there's a need for some people to fall off of the team, and they can sit on the bench and watch the other players play the game.
Okay.
But it is unfair that the president is putting his all into the match, and other players are there backstabbing players that want to make the team move forward. And to conclude, the issue of the cassava buying, I think the president was just being humor, with the lady to put some spirit in her.
Yeah.
That I'm the father of the nation. I can interact with the layman down the line. I'm not too big to buy cassava or ask for change.
Yeah.
Also, the money that the president spent.
That the Nima people money.
Yeah.
Right. The elders gave him.
Yeah.
So in return, he's still trying to distribute that money. That money does not belong to you. Most especially hand give it, hand take it. So the president was simply trying to say the elders gave me the money. It's better let me give back to the society.
Thank you.
So it was just another way of giving back to the society.
Thank you very much, Amos Morris from New York. Let's leave you and take this person. Hello, go ahead. 1 minute.
Hello,
Let's hear you. Go ahead. Mike Gibby County, go ahead. Let's hear you.
President, speak for everybody. See, that way the asking to the people, they have to love them more and more. You ask people to your people to make us to love God. They are so much.
Okay.
Getting that change by the money they're getting from the grave, and that's only that father people getting money, better money, they find either one in your pocket. You say you spend it. So they may come and change, then they change for him. And then come and you and I want to put the president to get people.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We take this person. Hello, go ahead. 1 minute.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Go ahead.
The name of me concern, I'm speaking from station number 4, Mazurala County.
Go ahead, Achibo.
You said it all. At time when you trying to do something better for people to know, they got other people there to castigate you. I went for a retreat in Lima County. The retreat was great, and then it happening in every part of the world. They can give meaning for people to talk. They can get time. And even when they're having some session, then they can put generally also. So that debate is very cool. We will make content to support the corporate agenda to the letter. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll leave you right there. Let's take more of the calls here on 87.9. Yes, so we got roughly 4 more calls, and we run into an issue that was raised in the chambers of the Liberian Senate by DeLone, Montserrat County DeLone. Let's take this other caller. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chief. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, you're getting called from the strongest newsman, Wakot Kiri in Magibi County.
Magibi County, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Wakot Kiri. I want to say thank you to President George Manewuya for his resilience and his developmental agenda pushing forward the country. I want to commend President George Weah for my recommendation to the president in Magibi County. We are seriously challenged in terms of leadership. People are there undermining the president, hard-won development. Even quite recently, when the president came to open the Ministry of Commerce hub in Magibi.
So just reserve that for Friday or so. There is going to be a what's on your mind, conversation. Thank you. We'll leave you. We take this person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening to you and good evening to us.
This is Hussein Kewu, the ANC man. Go ahead, Hussein.
I really appreciate you kind for the topic of discussion. It's something that we call on our leaders to do the right thing. And some of us, we believe in the leadership of President Weah. We criticize not because we want to tear him down or want to see the government fail. But it's in the interest of our country and we want to see that work better. Now, the retreat is done well. I think the president did it in a good intent. But there is one that's kind. Believe that there are too many ministers and directors in this government that are not performing. And there are other reasons why. Now, some of them have political ambition of running council, but some of them want to be resident senator. Be honest to yourself and tell the president, Mr. President, I served over 5 years. For time, I want to go and campaign in the various districts and counties. So you cannot continue to be serving in this government as minister and directors, having political ambition. So that is conflict of interest. So you better resign and give the position to other counterparts like who can serve that country better. Let's see the water in Simon.
Okay. We're not reduce the conversation to names calling. Thank you very much. You are done. We take the last two callers. We take our break and we come back to discuss the issue that has to do with the recast budget and the loans input on that subject matter. Let's take the last two calls. This person, hello. Go ahead, let's hear you.
I thank you for the show. I thank President Weah. As you rightly said, right now, I'm sure you know those who are not performing on the team, and you know those who are performing. So he said earlier, if anyone not perform, you will hang your jersey. So we are eagerly waiting to see, to see. Let it come to reality that those that are not performing, they hang their jersey.
Okay.
We'll give other people the chance.
Thank you.
We are waiting to see. And the second thing is that anything the president gets for the people, then he said come with it. Because so many people are coming there when they get money for campaign, you don't even drink water. So I'm telling you,
I want to allow.
I tell you seriously, you don't even drink water.
I know.
You don't even get no sort of this. So please, I beg you, when the president you should election that come, you shouldn't get no bulk of money to kind of lie. People. Can work on villages. People can work on villages. They don't even drink water. They cut the money in their pocket. They carry back. I got more than 2,200. There's no joke. You say you are seeing it from me. That I don't lie.
Thank you, Bossman. We leave you right there. We take the very last person. Your name and where do you join us from, sir?
My name is Ashido. Once again, calling on session number 4. I want to make my comment on the issue.
No, we are not done with that issue yet. Just keep listening. Let's take the last caller on this subject matter. Election. Then we take our break. When we come back, we go to the DeLone's saga. Let's take the very last caller on this issue. Wow, this. Can we squeeze it up from here? It is nearly impossible. But let's see. This person. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Okay.
Go.
Let me say good afternoon to the many listeners.
Go ahead.
My name is Prince K, member of the National Response Defense Team. Incoming expiring for number 17.
Go ahead, my man. 1 minute.
Okay. Question issue. Okay. The retreat for number. But we want for the president to take action. Those who are not infected on the work, those who have the ambition to go and run for representatives in their county, they are supposed to tell the president that, oh, Mr. President, we are not interested. For this time, they are supposed to resign. What the president will appoint a competent person. But now, hello.
Go ahead. End your thoughts. Are you there?
Wow.
Hello, are you there? Okay. I think we missed that caller. We missed that caller. So we're gonna leave. We're taking our break. When we come back, we're just taking our break for a minute to have words from our sponsors, Crime Stoppers Liberia. When we come back, we look into the issue of the extra budget and what is at stake at the Liberian Senate. Let's take our break to be right back.
President is purchasing.
Hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam signing.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
Okay, welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Oliver Kine. Princess Alexa Vanja Colley is as well posted, and we're here running up to 6 o'clock with this Monday's edition of the program. So the Ministry of Finance, was able to communicate with the president on the need to have this issue of recasting the Liberian budget with some additional, budget lines added. So in the budget, fellow Liberians, the one that was submitted to the Liberian legislature, the government, when I say the government, I mean the executive, their decision is to include several other stuffs in the budget. That's what they intend to do. Now, some of the issues that were included in the recast budget has to do with electricity. I'm saying this in our place in the DeLone's statement, and I'll tell you why DeLone was sounding the way he was sounding. I'm going to say all of those issues here on the platform. Electricity is one of the issues we've been having serious problem with in this country. Every day you hear say LEC go. LEC go. Today, yeah, LEC go. Oh, the other committee, LEC roll call. Those things were happening. Liberians will be making caricature of the electricity situation in the country. Everybody will be concerned about whether covering in the country or not. Those conversations were happening in the country. So the president of the country, President Weah, was able to. This whole board is not about all these things. So President Weah was able to communicate with the Liberian House of Representatives. This is terrible. I will do the adjustment. So he communicated with the House of Representatives, informing members of the body about the importance of including several other items in the Liberian budget. So some of those issues has to do with fixing the airport. The last time there were issues affecting the airport, the whole country, everybody started running at a scatter. Oh, the airport no current, your airport dago. Airplane won't land, the plane go for fuel in Sierra Leone, wrong. All the problems we have with the airport, those issues were raised. So in the recast budget, the president decided to communicate with the lawmakers and included $2 million to be spent on the airport. Now, under electricity, the president also requested the approval of the Liberian legislature, and he did that through the Ministry of Finance. right, to have $14 million allotted for energy. When I say energy, I mean current, the one LEC can be producing. And that is because we now have the Ivorian current. We call that one CLSG. You know, when these kind of discussions are on, I like to do teaching instead of doing normal, presentation, so that people will understand from the bottom line. So this current is in Liberia, it is in Ivory Coast, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. It is called the CLSG project. They don't got a substation to Jamaica Road. They got some to VOA. They got some to LPRC in Gardner's Bay. They got some in Oro. Their substations are all across the country. CLSG, one of the substations, can be seen in Buchanan, just before entering Buchanan City on the left when you're going. Their current is in the country. That current can bap. The current can trim. To say the about bapping small, it can do it. But the reason why we've been having difficulties in having stable electricity in this country is because Mancofe, that was built by the Ellens administration, is now overwhelmed. The people who are using current at the time Ellen were in power, they have increased more than 100%. You have new communities added to the national electricity grid. So the current hydro and the HFO plants we have on Bushra Island are so incapacitated to meet up with the current energy demand in the country. So as a result of that, Liberia as a country, was able to seek other alternatives in terms of getting stable energy. And one of the ways is to subscribe to the CLSG project. Sierra Leone is taking that current, Guinea is taking the current, is in Ivory Coast, and Liberia cannot be an exception. The way that can be done is for that to be budgeted. The president will not wake up and call someone to want money and say, give me 14 million, let go pay for current, and people be using it. It has to go through the lawmakers. Now, one more thing in our whole recast budget is the issue that has to do with rice, the price of rice. There is $11 million in that budget for subsidy to subsidize the rice market. Now, one of the reasons why in the country today, one of the reasons why in Liberia, rice is cheaper in Liberia than Guinea, than Sierra Leone, than Ivory Coast, and Ghana. Liberia got the cheapest rice in the whole region. One of the reasons is because the government of Liberia decided to take the court. The government said, you know what? When I increase taxes, when I increase import duties and whatever fees on the importation of rice, because it is our staple food. So in place of getting, in place of the money we're supposed to be receiving from taxes that we should have, added up to what's currently, the case, let's put $11 million in the budget so that it can subsidize what we were supposed to be getting from the rice importation in the country. So it is because of that decision the government been taking that led to the stable nature of prices of the different grade of rice in the country. So today, if you are in the country 4 years ago and you went to UCR, they will tell you rice is $13. Today you go back to UCR, rice is still $13. It is because the government is subsidizing it. An attempt for government to stop subsidizing the whole rice, stuff, Liberia is going to encounter serious increment in the price of a bag of rice in the country. So the way we're buying the $13 from the wholesale level, it could push up to $19. And those of you who want to buy it from the retail, you could start to buy it maybe $22, which will be something around $3,500. So the president is saying, lawmakers, see you people are the representation of the Liberian people. Let us put this whole rice subsidy in the budget. Add it to the original budget we have. Let's do it in the recast so that the prices of basic commodity will not increase on the market. So let's do it. So they added the issue of rice. Now, everywhere you go, say they are Deto, Maria Deto, the place they want, that one, the partners will no longer keep giving you buses, giving you trucks to keep cleaning your own city when the very people in the city, treating the city so dirty. It has to take the municipal governments in the urban areas to do that. So they put some money under the Monrovia City Corporation. Right? They've done that. Now, you go to Bonavent Junction, Zogo Jack Mafumo, or the other place, Zogo Jack the other Fum, Zogo then 2 more in the country, Zogo then this, the that. So the way you solve the Zogo problem, it's not about, talking about it on radio. You have to be pragmatic. You have to put some money into the process so that the partners themselves will see what the government is doing and complement government's effort. So even when you and ACRS would have gave you 50 billion, if the country is not exhibiting any sign of seriousness, it is not seeing you doing anything correct, come on, they could be discouraged in wanting to assist that project. So the government of Liberia said, we're going to put $1 million in the budget to start the process of rehabilitating Zogos and trying to mitigate the challenges they are posing on our country. So in that recast budget, they added $1 million. Now then you move to a judicial circuit court in River G and Sando counties. Those places that boss cat can judge the cases. Somebody steal a friend rice from the farm, other person go behind a friend woman, the other man go to a friend tribe and take the meat from there. Somebody trap cash animal. You probably on the man, you tell the meat, the man catch you, y'all won't fire. Those kind of cases that boss cat or the traditional, people will go and discuss it. Liberia is a work in progress. We are part of the global village and we should not be doing things way back. So the president decided, look, we got to open 2 courts in these 2 counties and have them factored in the budget. It's also a good indicator that the country is moving towards sustaining, the issue of rule of law. So it was important that they have it included. Now the country has some financial transaction with Norway and they have to pay $1 million back. So these are all of the things the president put together and say, because of the things we won't do, let's go and submit this budget to the legislature so that they can approve it, then we do the things. But you didn't get it correctly. Oh. There is another one that has to do with community projects. Let me see where is it? There's one that has to do with community projects, community development projects. It's $3 million. Projects for all of the communities. There are projects across the country that the government will be undertaking. The president's office and the different ministries and agencies assigned will be carrying on serious minor projects across the country. Building of town halls, building of public schools, renovating existing structures, providing library. There are several projects across the country being earmarked by the government. There were projects promised across the country to different counties that the president, talk about. And it is important that those projects be implemented. They had it included in the budget. This is the budget that appeared before the Liberian Senate. And you had Senator Spotlight, the senator who will want to have everything in his country. A senator who has failed to live up to the very standard that he set. You have the senator wanting to criticize. So I want you to listen to DeLonge's issue on a good. You listen to all of what I just said to you, right? I just read the whole budget, what the government want to do for which to send that budget, because the government can take decision on their own. The executive can take decision without the legislature's approval. Can't see DeLonge on a problem and get with the issue. Listen to him. Listen to DeLonge's own issue he got with the whole budget I just read to you. I want you to listen. Listen to what he said.
Community development project on is on the PFRB. What is community development? What is project? We come here approve budget. We need to appropriation ourselves. Just as the Senate will directly approve it. When these community projects are going to the community or to the personal project,
So you hear it, Senator Delon? Her issue is not that the project will affect Liberians positively. No.
Whose name is it?
Delon problem is not it's not good. Delon not got issues say why the project go on. Delon problem is he vexed that the host coming past this budget that will make projects to start going on across the country. That will make places like Cape Mountain to start experiencing modern structures. That you find teachers, in the different districts, you find nurses having quarters to live in. There will be a lot of developmental projects across the country. They don't only problem you have with that thing is the fact that when the projects are executed and they are being dedicated across the country, it carries the name of the president. It said that the president he can be behind it. Oh, when they're ready to load the money to do the project, they can come to all the lawmakers. But when time to do the project, then the president can put any money. That is a senator's concern.
That's really funny.
That is a concern from Delon. Imagine a senator who should be concerned about key issues. A senator who's supposed to even be commending the executive for mustering the courage to want to take development to the people. But don't be surprised on why Delon is sounding the way he's sounding. Delon is feeling threatened. His whole posture in the Senate that day was a clear manifestation of the fact that he has just returned from Lofa County where a candidate he supported. What is his puppet name? Garaba Kotima. A candidate he supported was beaten not because he was not popular, not because that candidate was not correct, but because of the level of developmental projects going on in Lofa County, the results changed. Delon is now afraid that with $3 million being allotted to add onto the other money that was intended to do project through LACE and other presidential initiative, Delon is confused and getting afraid that the more projects that will go on across the country, the more the people of Liberia will start to gravitate to the president. They will start to think, that the president is doing a lot of good things for them, and it will place people like Delon in very tough position during elections. That is his fear. Oh, so they can't offer the money to do the project, but when we're ready to do the project, they can say that president project. That is a concern from a senator. And you got people channeling that thing all across the country, making it appear like he's making sense. No, I had to say he made no sense, but you have people channeling this thing across the country, making it to appear as though Delon was making sense, when in real truth and essence, it was just onto some Fidija play. Yes, just parading with some Tabata. That is the whole essence. So all that thing you are analyzing, they don't say that it is no due diligence. It has nothing to do with due diligence. They don't just came from Lofa. They don't saw a giant size town hall that was constructed and currently going through the finishing touches in honor of Tambatelo. And it's the Tambatelo town hall.
Right.
Implemented by the government of Liberia. He saw that town hall when he went to Foya to campaign for Joe Biden Kennedy. The Lofians in Foya told him it is time to choose development over tradition and empty promises. So Delon is now afraid. We are political commentators. We do political commentary the way we understand it, and the way in most cases it is. What is affecting Delon is the fear factor. That if we keep allotting money for people to be going from country to country, building town hall, building the other one, putting solar light here, doing the other project this way, building proper houses for people in the kind of places, it will make them popular. It's going to give them some favor in the sight of the Liberian people. Liberian people will see them as people who develop in the country and taking development to hard to reach areas, and they may soon forget us. They may soon start to see people like us as just people who do promises and are not, doing anything substantial. So in his serious attempt to want to prevent that from happening, they don't start talking all that thing in the Senate. And the president said, when they come for the project or to do the project, they can take the president name. Who name you want project to take?
one thing that is a bit disturbing, Oliver,
Uh-huh.
is the fact that he's not concerned about the impact that will be felt across the country.
He's not concerned.
Because that should be one of the most important, really one of the most important things to really, you know, look out for whenever you have budget to be passed, whenever you have, you know, different proposals, you know, at the Senate to, you know, have different discussions and have it to be possible. You look for things that, you know, benefit a lot of citizens. But the fact that he had to say whose name is attached and, you know, whose name will be, you know, mentioned most of the times whenever we have these different projects to be dedicated. I think that was like really crazy,
So,
and
no,
it doesn't make sense to me.
That is the best way. That was totally out of order.
It was.
Delon slipped, but again, he did that on purpose. Here is it. In this country, whoever is in charge as the president of the country carries all of the blame.
And that has been it for a long time. So
under the United Party government,
a long time.
They renovated the Ministry of Health. Under the same United Party government, I mean, once you are the head of the country, a lot of things that happen, you will take the blame. The people say, "Oh, Taylor administration, Charles don't have ATU yet." You ever hear them say, "Benin you anytime we have ATU here in the country"? Oh, but Benin was a very strong man in the Taylor's administration. There were other strong people in the Taylor's administration, but you will have the name of the president going.
It is always attached.
That's how it is.
It's always linked.
A whole big country like America
always
had the Obamacare, a whole healthcare delivery, you know, a policy named after Barack Obama because he was head of the country and he was a champion of that. So if after 170 plus years, town chiefs across the 15 political subdivision of the country were never given vehicles, never given motorbikes. If a certain president decide to go to the budget and say, "Look, you know, you put some here, I will talk to my other friends to bring some, let find something for town chiefs and other people to go and have access to their different, you know, areas," and the president decides to say, "A given president, we have to," what is it?
There's no big deal.
What is the big thing is, I thought Delon would have said to us, the president bought the cars and sold the cars.
And he did not give it.
He did not give it. But he said, "Oh, he bought cars, carry the cars, and give it to town chiefs and say from President Weah." Is that the concern?
I mean, sometimes all these arguments are made because people do not really want to, you know, recognize the level of progress.
It is because all across the country, Alexa, they don't have been going having underground engagement with the people. They've been going to the people to do some sampling of views and whatever. The projects across Liberia is a serious challenge to bulk of these people in the opposition community. So when you go to a county like Nimba to say nonsense about President Weah, to say nonsense about the CDC government, for example, and say, "Oh, you know what, they should not be elected." But Nimbayans are looking at the road living from Ganta to Sacré-Pierre, the road living from Sacré-Pierre to Tabeta. You understand that? They are looking at, they're watching it. You go to Sonny Kwele and you want to cause George Weah, you want to say the worst things about him. They are looking at the road construction from Ganta all the way to Sonny Kwele. You go to the border from Lokatu, coming deep down into Ganta, you want to argue with them, you want to talk bad about President Weah, they are seeing it. Right? So everywhere you go to in this country, somewhere, somehow, there is something going on in that area that reflects development, that reflects, you know, improvement in the lives of the people. So it is these projects that continue to shock them. These projects continue, you know, to pose a lot of difficulties to them in reaching out to the very voters they want to convince. So all that thing you saw, they don't fight in the legislature, it was just simple calculation. Let's try to, it was an attempt to see if they could put a halt to giving the president extra. But let's say, for example, now,
this is really
let's
crazy.
assume, Alexa, let's assume the president want to have that money in the budget for projects across the country so that he go for re-elections. The senator's concern should be for the money to be used for the intended purpose.
Thank you.
But you know what I'm saying? Oh, when you carry Corey, so when you can't level the door committee, if people in door committee can know say that we the senator
That's
do the approval.
That's why I said he's not really care about the impact. He's not care about the result.
Obviously.
He's care about whose name is attached.
He doesn't
And it's
care
crazy.
a jing thing about whether the people like the project, whether the people appreciate the project, whether the people have. I mean, that is not his concern.
I mean, this is about Liberians. And whatever project we have now ongoing in this country, Liberians are benefiting. We're looking at the Purple Housing Unit, right? Let's look at the fact that, of course, the president had that. And I mean, all of those different houses were constructed. And, of course, they were, given to people, right? And then you have the president's name attached to it. At the end of the day, who are those people living in the housing units we have? They're all Liberians.
For the very first time in a very long while, Grand Cape Mount, Bomi, those two counties today have the presence of raw, stable electricity. If the budget is not passed, the current what are you using? And I know most of you are stealing the current. You don't even subscribe in Google yet. I'm being honest. I'm being practical. But the people in the country are stealing current. The current what you're stealing, working bad. Delon is saying, Delon is trying to fight it so that every day you'll be certified to post on Facebook. Power turn off, Banave off, Dogamere, LEC roll call. So Delon is interested in having a country where people will be making caricature of the electricity sector of the country, than having a stable, energy sector where the modalities can be worked out in such a way that we get our money from where we're investing it. That's what he's concerned about. And so listen to the main complaining. Listen to the other thing.
Community development project for Minister of Ghana is on the PFRB. What is community development? What is project? We come here approve budget. We need to appropriation ourselves. Just as the Senate will directly approve it. When these community projects are going to the community, or is our personal project? They source for the money and the authority to use the money to cover the community development project. Not for us. They will not do it. Those development will not go to those communities.
So the Lord is saying the source of the money that can do the community project comes from the legislature. No, the authority to use the money is from you. I can agree. Because you do the final appropriation.
There should be approvals.
The executive is the one generating the money. LRA part of the legislature now begin. Huh? So the thing is, we're not even having that conversation, right? Here's the thing. To even say when the project is how to go on, they will say that the president project, is that your concern? Eh? Look at him. Look at him.
Development project in the media.
So who project it should be?
I'm trying.
Whose project it should be?
I'm trying to get one thing here clear. Senator Delon is comfortable linking all of the negative news to the president. He's really comfortable doing that because you will have him on, live every second. You will have him on different stations every second talking about bad things. You have good thing and you don't want to acknowledge. Wow.
One girl go visit her boyfriend.
It's crazy.
She meet another girlfriend that the girlfriend juga when she die. When they find out about it on the road, the next money, they don't can open the mouth in the country and say, we are government, people dying.
The president.
Right? Somebody can go swim to the river. They don't know how to swim, they die.
Going to drown.
And they die in the water. After a few days, they find their body. They don't can open their mouth on radio station, Facebook, and say, we are government, we are country, people just dying, innocent people dying. Messi are killing. Somebody wake up to do their own nonsense. Somewhere, somehow, they die. They say that we are government is happening. Oh, they think government are the thing why you can be alleging happening. Decide to go and take development to the people, and you say the president who you can attach all the bad thing to.
Everything comfortably.
When it comes to the good one, you say the president should not be attached. No, that is just nonsense.
That's the part we want to say.
That ain't making no sense.
People are being selfish. Senator Delon is being selfish. Like, definitely he's been selfish because it doesn't make any sense that you want to, talk all of the bad things about this country. It is linked to the government. It's linked to the president. And whenever we have projects, developmental projects that will benefit people, and then you're complaining as to who is to be attached to it and who is not to be attached to it. It doesn't make sense.
Recently, people have issue of flood. There are some community that take the dirt and waste the dirt
all
in
of the drainages.
They clog the drainage
all
with
of
dirt.
The drainages.
There are some community people build directly on the water inside the drainage. So there are plenty environmental violations people continue to do in the country.
And people who are living there, they're responsible
that can
for
lead
these
to flood.
different things.
But see the thing now, Delon sat down in his office. People who and Delon share similar political views, including him, he himself, right? Went on Facebook and they started attaching the Buga song.
Thank you. I saw that.
To flood around the country as a way of sending a message that under a Georgia, government, flood everywhere. As though people are saying water needs to go inside the town.
And besides, that is a natural thing.
So my take is, if Delon can be brave, where water enter horses as a result of rain and poor drainage system because people bail on the drainage and whatsoever, if they can attach that to the president and say, John, we are Liberia, then the poor Buga video, they laugh. So if the president go, if the president take the government money and go to one county and build 100 houses for people to live in, you say he shouldn't put a knee on it. But when water comes from heaven, rainfall, water comes from heaven, you get on the ground, you get 4 2 more, you're not able to go anywhere. It come out here, then you say the president will not put a knee on it. What is that? No, that's not how we do our politics. They don't understand that elections, the whole election period is over. The senatorial fever is done. You are already a senator. Already you lied to the people on too many things that you said you would have done, and you are not living up to 10% of the things you said. It must arrive get vest now and barricade your car one day. And said, my man, you told us you will get 5,000 every month.
It will be the
if
president.
If they choose to go after you now to bring your money, you will say that the president sent them.
The president.
You lie to the boy in Monserrato that, lawmakers should prioritize visiting their own counties, doing vacations, at the legislature over going to America and other places. America almost looking at the place where you can go take 3 minutes time. And this one thing, you on SM Brussels, you ride in business class. When they go choke you say that class D. When they shame too much, you say you shame your mother. If they come to you now and say, man, you lie to us, you will say that. So, there is no rationale, nothing logical. A senator should be that person who is inclined to the well-being of the. How do you say you love the Liberian people? You want to have a lot of things happening to this country. You want to have developmental projects going on in the country. Then you fighting against a law. You know what Delon fighting against? Delon is telling you. Delon is in the Senate trying to borrow in the budget so that rice spending will get high in the country. The president will not have the subsidy in the budget to stabilize the rice sector. When you start buying rice $21. So you start buying rice $22. The same Delon will go sit down on different radio station and say things high. Come on, right? You're not getting right, but he's fighting it.
And that's the part I was talking about. We have a lot of different cardinal things, in this budget. You're talking about rice. You're talking about electricity. These are things that are very important.
How many of you can complain this time about curry? How many of you complaining in the country say no curry? This is the election. Somewhere, somehow, we are nearing some level of stability, somewhere around 85% of stable curry now in the country.
So far,
it's because we are subscribing with the CLSG package, which is very stable.
He has gone for a couple of weeks with no complaints.
You understand?
So it is like,
if you got any problem with your committee, current issue, it means locally the service provider, either somebody because of the power theft nonsense, or some of the contractors company, they're just making mistake in doing real connection. That's why you have sticker issues in your distribution. But relatively from the generating lines, the current is stable. Delon is telling he's trying to fight against that so that the government will not have money to pay for the current. And when that is happening, we will be going to election. People will be crying for current. So when election coming here, Delon will be posting on Facebook, Banavek Johnson, LEC roll call. Then they say off. That one now he will be happy because it is the bad news that brought him to power. In his opinion, it is the same bad news in the country that will take a presidential candidate to the president and say, you don't do politics like that, right? When you do that, it becomes a politics of personal gains. I thought you would be happy when Liberians continue to buy rice at $13. I thought you would be happy when energy is stable. I thought you would be happy when more of these proper housing units are extended to other counties that are yet to benefit. But instead, you are fighting it because you are offended, you are threatened, you feel insecure that those projects will adequately pose a lot of challenges to you. Evidence of the fact that he went to Lofa with big mouth, hello, empty mouth, few promises, nothing behind him. Just Savannah bottle and a few cigarettes.
Can you say that again?
Savannah bottle and a few cigarettes. That's why he took to Lofa. Nothing else. He didn't take no project to the people. Nothing substantial. Only Savannah bottle, few cigarettes. You put Joe Baga in the car, carrying that with Yaga Coliver to do the cussing. You sat on there, a pie info ya. That they remember BT Fire. All they're laughing. That they remember BT Fire. So when the people gave the London rule awakening in Lofa, when they told the London we hear other things, we know say you beat Tifa too, right? But Tifa is here doing a lot of good projects. Since you flunk Tifa, show us one thing you've done in Monserrato. Let the Zogo horse why he was buried in how you call this place. What is the name of the area?
I'm awaiting the
in rehab. The rehab center he was building.
Center.
Right? Delon is here to show you one Zogo that he gave beans and burger weed. One Zogo that he got Black Bull in front, you know, doing SSO, you know, 1, 2, 3. Delon can show you one Zogo that he has transformed. The president submitted a budget to have $1 million provided so that something can be started, you know, to help with the rehabilitation of Zogos in the country so that the partners will see it necessary and give their support. Boom, they don't fight it. Because you know why? They don't want for Zogos to be on the increase where government will do nothing. Then when they keep jacking your phone, they keep terrorizing your community, then he will go back on the air with empty mouth and say, you know what? We are not able to run the country. Zogo all over the place. The president is trying to find remedy to most of the problems confronting the country. One senator is in the house playing politics because he can only survive on bad news. And you say we sit in the country, we hear it, then you can ask, why the media not talk? Why you want the media to talk? You think the media is crazy?
I mean, Oliver,
No.
whenever we talk about people who are pretentious in this country,
He's not pretending, he's fake.
I would just say Delon is one of the persons who's very pretentious in this country.
That's an attitude of a faker, Alexa.
And it's kind of crazy because, Oliver, this is someone who has over the period said a lot of different things about this same country. Someone who has definitely presented a couple of different things according to him are, you know, remedies to a couple of problems. Whenever he sits on his platform on the social media and talks about things that are not being done in this country, and talks about how people have been spineless and how people are not really doing what is supposed to be done. And I think the issue about the recast budget, one of the reasons it was sent over there is because the lawmakers or the senators are people who are considered to be, you know, people of wisdom. So whenever we have these things to them, they're supposed to make the best decisions in the interest of Liberians.
It's just part of their statutory responsibility.
Of course. And now we have one of the persons who once upon a time called his, you know, colleagues spineless.
Mm-hmm.
We have him who is supposed to make sure all of these things are done in the best interest of every citizen of this country. Someone is saying, I don't really care about the import. I don't really care about the tangibles. What I care about is whose name will be attached to all of these different projects we're really talking about. It doesn't make sense to me because number one, we'll be more interested in how is this going to help a lot of citizens in this country. How we're going to have stability when it comes to electricity, when it comes to our staple food, rice. How exactly we're going to have people, to live in line with their earnings, because that is very important. You're talking about rice here. And we remember when we had little issue about that, we have people all on the social media. The president doing it when the red press going up.
Oh yeah.
Imagine the president they weren't doing that, the legislature looking like this.
Yeah.
And now you have a budget before you, which we have rice included, we have electricity included, we have issue about rehabilitation, stuff included as well. I think this is the point where we'll have people to show to Liberians that of course they mean well for this country, and forget about all of the different thing about names being attached and names not attached, because at the end of the day we have people who will sit on the different platforms. Dylan is one of the people, right? He will sit on his platform and talks every single time. Dylan will talk every single time about this is happening on the Weah administration or the current go off the whole screen, the era dark, right? He talks about that every single time. We had the issue about transportation fare here. They don't also talk about it.
Everything.
So now we're at a point where we're looking at tangibles. We're looking at physical assets. We're looking at an aspect where people will see development. This is the period where you're supposed to be more focused into doing things that will benefit Liberians, because this is about things people will see. This is about things people will benefit from, and not just
the
about
people are no longer concerned about all the and you know what he's doing, Alexa. We look. You see the thing about it. if you were fortunate to have been elected through these fake, advocacy and bad news in the country,
You continue.
huh? It is no guarantee that the very bad things that made you senator will continue to exist.
Thank you.
This man became senator because the government was challenged. Civil servants were not taking pay. Today, they don't get trouble. Hey, you can go campaign and say, Joey, I ain't paying people. They will vote you. They will laugh at you. The town chiefs will cost you because they are taking their pay on time. The conditions that existed at the time, those conditions are no longer existing. So the Lord them have nothing else to talk in terms of governance. So what they are putting towards is to suppress development. Look, Liberian people, they are tired with all that plenty talking. At the moment, what they want to see is people who are able to take real solid change to them. That's what they're looking at. At the legislature, they don't them paying people, paying organizations to go and protest that they due to pay CRSG money.
That's a strategy.
And for the current to be stable, and now good deal, the government will go against it. The citizen.
Who in the right mind want to do that?
No, there are Liberians who are gullible. Alexa,
of course, so they keep taking advantage of this.
We should say this thing so that when it start to happen up at the legislature, so that Liberians will know that there was a time where KOK and Alexa predicted that this thing will happen. Dylan them have already started. That their whole team, they've started to incite a minute portion of a gullible society to assemble on Capitol Hill with a serious petition to the lawmakers, don't do the COSG project. And the reason is very simple. These people are aware of the significant impact electricity is having on the lives of people. You know what will happen when $14 million is given to the CSG project? There will be a lot of transformers, a lot of meters, a lot of different electrical, supplies coming to the country that will enhance real energy distribution. They don't even want for people to be in Liberia to spend 2-3 weeks in row without LEC going for 1 minute. They don't want it. Because in his opinion, the more LEC is unstable, the more LEC is fluctuating, the more the current is not correct, the more Liberians will complain, the more it will show that the government is incapacitated, the more it will show that things are not correct in the country, and it is going to put he and his political team on a right path to getting the sympathy of the Liberian people through the votes. People who voted for Dillon voted for him because some of them were not taking pay for 2 months.
People were angry.
Oh, yeah, they were angry.
People were really angry.
They were angry. Those people now, they are taking pay, and their small pay they're taking, they carry the money to their houses. When the man take $300, you can go buy 150 TV. When you put it to your house, CLSG project is on. The current is stable. If family watching TV, even if they do not have $1 billion to build mansions, the fact that in the evening, all they can table and put their African movie on to watch movie, they feel that somewhere, somehow, the national covers is extended to them through the provision of energy. They don't want further one. In the country, rice business became high. There were times where you will find fluctuation. The government and the importer will be wrestling. Government will have to leverage most of the taxes are supposed to obtain from the rice sales, from the whole rice transaction. Government said, no, you know what we'll do? Let's keep putting money in the budget every time so that the losses we will always encounter from the rice, trade, we can still find means to balance it. So let's subsidize the whole rice trade so that the importers will not be pressured in such a way that they will increase their price prices on the market. Let's do it where the rest will remain at $13. The law is fighting so that it will not remain at 13. Right? But it will go to 14, it will go to 17 to the extent that the people will buy from the retail level at the rate of $20 to $22. When that starts to happen, they don't jump on radio station with nothing else. We can talk about B-Muff. Go there. Oh, rapper how? On a Joe Bagger, rare $13. Joe, we are kind of rare go to 17, 18. That is the nasty politics they want to play. That is how deadly they are proceeding. Now, when you do these things and you expect Liberians to think that you are the best person, I mean, it sucks. It makes me sick to the stomach. That's what you're doing. What the hell? You want to fight something that will make energy stable? And legislature is life. When you in your community, when LEC just go 1 minute, just imagine how terrible it can be. The government is trying to find a remedy to stabilize power. One senator who got elected as a result of political miscarriage is proud, very humble, very, very correct to himself. In his arrogance and chest beating on the floor and this and that. Some of the senators can just be looking at him and say, they begin even know say that because the government has stitches. That's why he came to the level. No, but one of the senators calling the order. And let me play the thing.
Yes.
Let me play the thing. One of the senators calling the order.
Someone did.
The senator calling because the senator knew that he was talking Tabata. So they call. Listen to it.
We, the president, go around, make commitment, security commitment, and Senator all for other people. The president will contract to one in the country, and he promised the chief, because and mobile. He said the commitment, and they all were he said it all in the approval. When you were carrying it back, when you were carrying the ticket, he didn't say that let them be government money. He said, for President, we are the chief taking our country asking.
You're out of order.
So you seen that?
He was definitely out of order.
Seen
He
it?
was caught.
So that men started saying all kinds of things to the extent here. Police started saying order. Because when you're talking fitija in some instances, the people will tell you, say, well, man, you've been talking to one number. But when you're talking, the group can say that, wula. Alexa, you want to say that? Wula. Wula. Yeah. You understand that? When you say certain things to certain level, people who are around you who are fed up with your fitija, they tell you, man, when you're on a wula. So one senator say, order, my man, order. That thing you're talking now ain't making. Look at anything you say. President went across the country, made promise of telling chiefs, they did not, thanking. They said a president project.
From the president.
They must say that Dillon project.
Chai.
Somebody got drunk in the country, they go swim in the water, they die. They find a body different place. You open your mouth, you Dillon, you open your mouth after, doing your cigar and Savannah. Say, on a Jawia, the country is not safe. People are dying mysteriously. But Tanchi get car, you say, Jawia, need not go there. People die naturally. Some instances, somebody said they have to juke their friend. President know nothing but but you say, on a Jawia government, people dying. 2 minutes is happening. Unless two human beings start fighting, one person juke their friend. The next thing you hear, Jawia government.
No rehabilitation. Why somebody died.
The country not safe on we are.
Damn.
But town chief got cars with donation from president with the inscription on it. Donation from the president. You said a bad thing.
People have failed to gather the courage to really recognize all of the
this
good
is
things
just
being
about
done.
Fighting a general cause.
You're just fighting development.
That's
At the
what
end
you're
of the
doing.
day, you're fighting the citizens. That's all.
To be an opposition,
There's no other way to put it.
To be an opposition is not a license to insanity. No. Let me clear on it now. Let reduce the conversation and hit the issue, Elisha. Being in the opposition has no bearing on your IQ.
It doesn't.
No. When they say you're opposition, it doesn't in any way mean that automatically you go crazy. No. Opposition people are not crazy people.
Everything.
Opposition people are individuals who will objectively critique a particular policy, not in their singular interest, but in the supreme interest of the general population of the country.
Right.
In this case, you're trying to fight a subsidy to a rice, to the rice trade. You think that you doing it though? And we are saying, okay, you know what? See, I sent my budget that let them reject the budget, and we are decided to say, okay, let's run with the way we're running with it. When the rice importer add anything there, we'll let them add it there. If rice price go up to $19 in the country, President, we can buy one ship of rice, upload it to your oil and eat it for the rest of your life. What will happen? Liberians will not have that ability.
No.
You belong to the grace of God and the political miscarriage. You can order 10 tire truck of rice and put it in your home. When you finish fencing, you last it, you're not going to fence it ever since. You can eat that rice for the next time until you die from, whatever the case. You can do. What about the Liberian people? They will not have that chance. So to fight against the rice, you're fighting them. And that is not being a politician.
You're fighting Liberians.
Sometimes we miss sincerity. We just complicate a lot of stuff. You need not to be critical on every little issue. Oh, because your opposition saw me, you crazy. No. You have to objectively fight. There are certain point in time you say, even the media, you put more on the media like, we got issue with you.
Like,
yeah, listen to you talking about the media.
The commitment and they all were he said it all in the approval. When you were carrying it back, when you were carrying the ticket, he didn't say that let them be government money. He said, for President, we are the chief taking our country asking. What order?
You see it, the person order. He say, what order? Order because you
You're
talking
out of order.
because you talking without say order. Order because you talking 50 jar. Listen to it.
Now you are having.
They honestly not asking
Now
that
you ask me.
you the people like you asking like you the people are asking. Yeah, they say not asking. So you see now everybody laughing here in the Senate. So when you won't put yourself in the position where you fight the people themselves will fight you. That's what you're doing.
Well,
We can agree with all the causing you want
Thank
cause the
you.
president do all that one. Eh? Because the president buy a own skin, I don't think he got time for causing this time. Right? You know, I ain't think he got time. You do all the other issues, but to fight the people project will fight you alone. I swear.
like,
LEC what been Elisa? LEC what been giving you must say a hard time. All the
they
in the
won't
country hard time.
control.
LEC been giving you a hard time, Delon. Then you go sit down in the Senate, you won't fight LEC, something will make LEC stable. You fight it will fight you.
Wrestle.
Rice issue in the country. Liberians suffer to get rice. Liberian people are enjoying the fact that this is the only country in the Mano River Basin. I'm talking about Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. Some of you who did the outdated history. Don't think I added Ivory Coast out of mistake. Ivory Coast is now a part of the Mano River Basin, so we know what we're talking here, right? These 4 countries, Liberia is the only country that continues to sell rice at a cheap level. We have the cheapest
Very reasonable.
price of rice in the whole Mano River Basin. When you extend it to West Africa, do your research, go to Google. We sell rice cheaper than what Ghana selling their rice. It is because the government is subsidizing the rice, the rice trade, because it is our staple food. So the government is taking a lot of shocks. The president is trying to submit that to the legislature. Delon, you won't fight. You can fight against anything but to fight against the Liberian people rights. We who are their mouthpiece, we will fight you. That's why you see we've made you a subject of discussion, Delon.
I mean, we have
That's what we're doing
we
there.
have important things we're supposed to talk about, and
Right?
this is one of the most important things we're talking about right now.
We're talking something that will settle major sectors. You know what I mean when you manage to settle energy in this country? You know why? You know why it is?
Energy is life.
Current is life by itself.
Is.
Right now, most of the street lights of the president, I mean, dedicated on his 2 years ago birthday. Those lights are going off because we have fluctuating current.
Oh yeah.
Today, even Delon himself is aware that when he's driving on the Tottenham Boulevard today, there are portions of those lights, that are constantly on now as a result of the CRSG that we are gravitating. Gravitating to as a country. Gradually, we are adding all of the different networks to the CRSG lines. So if we don't pay for it, and we don't pay for the CRSG current, they will disconnect us. Then the next thing you'll see now, they don't will be happy to be posting on Facebook every day. Hey, Clarendon, you got current? And other people kind of no, it's a propo that we are meso, propo that we are doing. So when that kind of buy energy, is growing up in the society, when it is growing up in the society, people that don't know will start taking the political dividend. When people get there with the government, who do they go to? The opposition,
of course,
right? So they're not in the opposition. So when government ought to pay for the current because he fought against it,
and it will start to talk.
The people will start to see now
talking about remedies.
And they say, we can face it. We can bring
and
current.
guess what? They will say, oh, we provided remedies and recommendations at a point, but people did not really listen to us. And here we are in this mess.
You don't play with the people that way. You don't play with them. These parent people are disappointed.
Stop playing, man.
These people are terribly disappointed. There are places where you used to go to before you try again. They won't care you today. You go there.
The people that initiating the conversation.
The people say you won't hear you talk about him. The people won't hear. I mean, so you.
Well,
if I were Senator Delon, and I'm going to say this so that you just wrap up on this issue, then we take calls, right? I'll just shut up. The people ain't got no problem with you. They've already accepted that you feeling lying to them. They
you will not give the $5,000 monthly. You're not giving already it in the car. You're not supposed to ride according to you.
You lie to the people. Say when you are a lawmaker, you are not supposed to hide from your people. You're not supposed to fence your house. The people are supposed to be your protection. They are supposed to be your securities.
Oh yeah.
The fence you put around your house taller than the one to Saw Beach. The bar wire right there, you put current in the bar wire. The boy already knows that when you talk to them before you lie. They're not even counting you again. They counting you on the issue of integrity. You lied to them. You told them that Senator, they used to be running America every time they get vacation. You've gone to America over 6 times now. See, you begin Senator. In less than 4 years, you've gone to America over 6 times. You and Senator Yomli Lauren went there, I think 3 different times. Why did I mention Senator Yomli Lauren?
That's what I want to ask.
Okay, so you've gone there. You've gone there over 6 times, right? You've gone there over 6 times to America. You criticize Senator Snow and other people here about going to America. The lawmakers passed a budget before under the Joe Biden administration when you, Dylan, used to be on Kerry Street playing checker, Atai, and talking politics.
Oh yeah.
You criticize
You have
the
a
issue
lot to
of
write.
lawmakers riding for the
Please.
$5,000 cars.
Oh yeah.
You did your mathematics and you justify why it was inhumane, why it was very irrational, why it was an inappropriate decision being taken by the government at the time. You said in the Liberian Senate today, you are in the know of this involvement. You took your last for the 5,000. You're no longer riding the Jordan Doe Sherry car. You pack it at a woman using it. You're using a brand new white car. You just got another 45,000. You're going to be using it again to buy one more car. Things that you said you wouldn't have done, you're doing it. The people already know. The people are not stupid. They feel know you say you lied to them. They know that all that thing you were talking about our Vlad, so level, so scam. They know. So if you want to ask people like us, we just tell you, just be quiet, do your thing quietly. Quietly, yeah, just, because no justification yet. People already know say you fake. Then you go fight against your curry again.
I think this is also in line to be a justification. Like.
Yeah. Hey, you understand that? Then you go fight there. The people already know say you lie to them, they accept it. They not even think that I will not own you again.
No, people have already forgotten about that.
They just tell you say, they ain't just living life. Like, yeah, that one just part, you know, Alexa, you guys who are the female, right? There's some action you can do. Sometimes, you know, some getting, some kind of guy can just come. You know, some kind of way. They can't even know how it happened, but it just happened. They can't just look at that transaction and say, hey, just go. You know, so sometimes you can lose. And you know, yeah, sometimes they can just happen.
Like bad market.
You know, bad market. So, you know, so that's how the people must rather see you. You're looking at that boyfriend who they did not even anticipate. You know, some guidance and getting ain't got no mind. Some kind of way, mistaking it, something can happen. I guess anyway, they won't have no issue. That me did that thing. So anyway, that bag on just be back. The people already said that bag on be back on because they are regretting over the fact that what is his name? Sir Joseph will go to America and bring continuous flow of medical equipment. You will go, you come out, you won't have press conference. They're feeling terrible. They're feeling sad that Sir Joseph will bring yellow machines to open community roads all across the same months around what we are eating the same salary for.
50-50.
50-50, same money. Sir Joseph eating at the same money you eating, you alone. They see Sir Joseph opening their roles, although they did not vote for Sir Joseph Partisan Tomo Fala, but they see Sir Joseph working, you know, tediously in the different communities. But when you come out from America, the press conference, every day press conference, you've turned to a talk show host now. You got the class.
Well,
and you got that's a different discussion, different day.
Of course, that's exactly what I want to say.
After dashing the hopes of the people, today you are a talk show host.
You're undermining.
You're doing so now you're undermining. The people already know say you are
undermining development.
That's Shawan. The people know say that's Shawan. That's why it is.
So
they are not counting on you for the format of the country. They already know say
people have accepted that the light run off totally.
They are aware. So all the things you're trying to do to fight, that's the wrong way you're trying to to re-energize or to re-establish yourself. If you want to regain that trust the people have for you, you promise them you'll be giving them 5,000 per month. Calculate all the months you are not giving that money and pay it. You promise them you will not drive more than $25,000 worth of vehicle. Say the one that you get today and buy Pathfinder or Forerunner and start to break the fence around your house. They will know that you still the loan you talk about. But anything you do right now, the boys, you didn't. Nobody's too bad yet. In fact, because of people like you, the whole phrase was developed. You think the people ain't got sense, and you're into all of those stuff, and you think we don't know. Unless we don't have the luxury of time. Yeah.
Well,
our people have to.
Well, we're going to open the phone lines to have your calls. But again, I would just like to say one thing, and I think this is very serious because over and over and over again, our people have been, undermined over and over again. People are taking advantage of the gullibility of our society. I mean, there are a couple of people who now know exactly what is going on. There are also people who are not understanding exactly how the government runs and, how things are being done in this country when it comes to, the governance aspect of it. So I think it is important to have these people's minds to be disabused, Oliver, because we cannot have Senator Dillon who has, told citizens over and over that, of course, he means well, and he's definitely going over there to, make decisions in the best interest of Liberians. At the end of the day, we have him today talking about things that are undermined, tangible, talking about things that are definitely, trying to undermine the developmental projects we have in this country that will be, out there for a lot of citizens to benefit from. So I think now people should try to understand exactly how these things work, and they should also know that there are people like Dillon who are not really in the best interest of this country, because you have different things that are to be said. You have different projects across the different counties we have, and now he's really talking about whose name is attached to it. And I think at this point, what is really important should be, what people will benefit and how people will feel the different impacts. So we're going to open the phone lines very shortly.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia.
Hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the search of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
Okay, thanks for listening. Old Man Sam Sion, the Chief Executive Director of Crime Stoppers Liberia. 86500-104, 776-104, 104. The local numbers to join the conversation. If you're outside Monserrado, join us on 0770-297-016, 0770-297-016. Those of you out of the country can join us on +231 86-500-104, +231 86-500-104. This first person, hello, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes, KOK on Oliver Khan and Alexa. This is Rodney calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Rodney Peabody from the US. Go ahead.
Yes, KOK, I just want to say, every time you guys talk about Dillon, it pains me like when somebody good to me die. That's how much it pains me. Dillon had no light in the first place. There was no.
Rodney, are you there?
This man is not real. He is a con artist. But like I said, Monserrado just take it. But Liberians will have to understand just how you guys can go to the finance ministry and make noise. Y'all will have to get to stop Dillon Carmen. For real, y'all have to ask him when you go to a press conference. Go to your office, ask him where is the money. We can just keep talking about it, okay? Y'all can just keep talking about it, but we have to find out whether and where. If he is giving the money, where is the money going? How is the money being given? We need to, because that is a very, 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 very evil man. He's very.
Thank you.
That's what I have to say on this issue.
Thank you very much. Let's leave you and take this other person. Go ahead. Your name and where do you join us from? Go ahead. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Go ahead. What's your name? Where you join us from? Quickly.
Yeah. I'm Mohammed Kamara calling from United Arab Emirates.
Mohammed Kamara calling from the UAE. Go ahead. Are you from Abu Dhabi or Dubai?
Yeah. Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
From brothers, the characters that you people discuss. It's one now one year that they knew of Dillon. I just feel that you want to say like bro get to Omar. That's how I feel when I get a new of Dillon. I just feel one say like bro get to Omar. Because I hate the fellow, I hate you. I think Dillon and Omar, I hate the two and them equal. I hate them equal because I hate fake person. It's fake. You can know somebody fake that their way of speaking, you can know them they fake. But people never understand when we're in like 2019, we say, oh, this man was not good, this man was not good. They say, oh, the man, he was savior to them. So that the savior nothing, I don't know how to describe it. When America and made a lot of time, 3 more. We were there, you went in Liberia and go loud to you people. Because now me, I told people, I said, when they don't become senator, I will leave Liberia and definitely happy. I told people, I said, when they don't become senator, I will leave Liberia.
Thank you, Kamara. From America, we went to Abu Dhabi. Let's come back to the U.S. This person, hello, go ahead. Where do you join us from? In the U.S.? Go ahead. Are you there? Where in the U.S. are you joining us from? Go ahead. Let's hear you. Okay, we missed out on that person. Let's squeeze in this other. Yes. Okay, let's squeeze in this caller. Go ahead. Your name and where you join us from? Hello. Oh my God. Oh my God. These calls are. Let's take this question. Hello. 1 minute.
Hello. My name is Boyma Command.
Go ahead, Boyma.
That one for me to be on project. You know how many Western job you are supporting a name of projects for people? You know how many Liberian job you are achieving for your football day to politics? Before today, say, we need your phone to go to that. If you know what they are, we are going to go that job is going to go. Before you say, you want to be on the project. If you need to be on the project, then what are your needs? What about the project? Why are you going to be concerned about the insanity of the project and the president are sending to you? You should be concerned why it should be implemented. But you know, I don't believe that. I believe we are Liberia. We don't know what we want in the country. Thank you, brother. You want to go follow?
Okay, thank you. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this international caller. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, kind man. Amos Morris calling back.
Okay, Amos from New York. Go ahead, Amos.
Yeah, I mean, thank God it's another topic. That's why I have to call back. You know, the issue with the law. I mean, regrettably, we're not discussing county like River G, Wapulu, or newly founded county, but we are discussing a county that we call our country capital, Monrovia, where you got all the brains, and they will sit and elect a Buffon. You know, it's such I call it a great honor on circumstances time in our country. This guy have no platform to help the people. All he does is live on negativity. You know what Dylan is trying to do? They don't know that he's not going for re-election. He knows that. So what he's trying to do is to allow the other senators that are going into re-election to play into his playbook, to deny their access of being re-elected. That's what Dylan is trying to do. And those senators know better than him. That's why they are not playing into his playbook. That's why you see, I think the person that called Dylan to order, if I'm not mistaken, is Senator Milton Tiaje from Sano County.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all of them sat there. They allowed Dylan to use them. At the end of the day, he called them names. So today they're getting to know. In fact, they knew who Dylan was, but they thought they were doing it to President Weah. But now they're going to get a slap in the face come 2023, because hopefully the president of the Republic of Liberia is not playing to their diary book. The man have an agenda and he working on his agenda.
Listen,
the whole government of Liberia right now, the executive is working more than any branch of this government in Liberia right now. I mean, fact for today in their setting, they had the finance minister tells you that the executive is working. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, Emil Murray from the U.S. Let's come back to Liberia and see whether we have this caller on the line from Liberia. Go ahead, 1 minute.
Hello, Freedom FM. This is Rogers, Rogers from Nikutan.
Nikutan, go ahead, Rogers.
You know that you're surprised of the intention of the president as well. He just I mean, to benefit, I mean, the what they call the country. So they're very, very surprised. He didn't expect the government to go as far as developing this nation. So he's just shocked as well. So I'm not surprised.
Thank you. We'll leave you. Let's take this person 1 minute.
Thank you, Oliver Klein, and let me say good evening to you and Princess.
Go ahead, my brother.
for recognition. My name is Ibrahim Guru and I join you from Cloud and this evening. I want to say welcome back to the radio. You know, my brother, we're talking about a giant. Kind is number one. Thank you very much for that unique and 7 hours conversation. Kind, I will be very clear here. Let me what you said now. Anybody trying to fight our president's project, we will fight you to the core. Look, let me tell you something. Darrow, they don't have no issue. Because he then see that we are doing like him, and the reason being, every day that boy he own air, like you say, he's going a job forward, he's leaving his job, he's doing all that of nonsense in the house, stealing money. I think that will say he fear to the Liberian people. Look, let me say this, Darrell General, you are mistaken. If you think you can fool us, you are lying. Since this country was funded, this is my first time hearing that senator to be included within the president's project. Look, it doesn't make no sense, kind. Not put sense into the man here because the man not know anything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being back on the radio, kind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's leave you right there and pick this person on the line. I don't want to be held in contempt. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for delaying me. Okay. The party of me. This is my CC. Alexa, how you doing, my daughter?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. Let me say thank you, Kate. Welcome back on the radio. That's this, but you coming back and you walk style. Then they work on me. What's that with me? Oh, yeah. What want to say? Okay, and next time. If they don't make free with our country. He flew on the best people after the poor made him the senator of this country. He comes back to tell us that they must stop our quarry and stop our cheating. But when he try he will see our capital building. We will vote against him. When my people are happy, and he try he will see our pushes from him. Because when you try our farming, what will they will enjoy it today, and nobody tell the opposite. There's no going, there's no water, there's no net. When you try our resources, I will enjoy it today. You want to stop it? I tell you no now. He will see our heat. He will get our blow. For me, he will get my insult for me. Because I will tell the time I will see a third party. It will be a bad story on a time.
We're not support that.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
That.
We're not support that. We would not support it. We support a civil exchange of ideas. That's what we will support. This person. Hello, go ahead. Let's hear you. Hello. Hello. Oh my God. Okay, let's leave that person. Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Oliver.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Alexa.
Hello, ma'am.
Go ahead, ma'am. How you doing?
Thank God for life, and I just want to bless God for the both of you. May God continue to bless you.
Amen.
In strength, in wisdom, in knowledge, in long life, and let God bless you. You know, we're not going to listen to Darrell. The Liberian people, our people hard to understand. In as much Liberian people can vote all the people that kill their own people, then there are people that are hard to understand. They voted Dillon, they voted what he named Yeke. I mean, the whole place there, the whole law house there. So rebels, very few straight people there. So it's hard to say. And this is the country that we got. We just got to pray to God that our president win his second term at all and finish his job.
Okay.
Because Liberians will be Liberians. Many are called, few are chosen.
Thank you.
The good one who got ears to hear, who their eyes open, their understanding open, they will follow the right road. And those that choose to stay with the opposition, with the spoon TV, the gas road, man seller there, all the people there, they will stay together. Men will be men. So let God just strengthen you. That's all I call to say and play.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
calling.
Let's leave you and take the last 3 callers. That's what we're going to do. We take the last 3. This person. Hello. Hello. Go ahead. Hello. Go ahead. End your thoughts.
Well, we have to switch to another person.
Oh,
I guess.
no.
Like,
This caller is unavailable.
Yeah.
Let's leave you right there and take this person. Hello. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, Lesa.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, ma'am? Go ahead.
This is my Elena. We are calling from St. Paul's Beach.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, we miss you. At least take you back now. We miss your voice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Papa. When we're talking about people, we don't count alone. We don't count it because it's disappointed us.
So you know what to do. We don't catch people like they don't. They don't fail in everything. Just listen on radio now. What you play just now? The old man and what you say here. Then I saw money there. But I want to tell the Liberian people, your local they know he coming again. Oh. They don't come in with life again, Liberian people.
Okay.
You remember what he did. He regretting now.
Thank you.
He won't go back. So your bio.
Thank you very much. Let's take the second to the last. Go ahead. You're the second to the last person. 1 minute.
Hello, okay.
Let's hear you, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. We don't call you for Chicken Patrick friend of person we are.
Go ahead. Quickly.
Okay. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for the sacrifice. Okay, we'll bless you the few days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You see, okay, the next alone, he is politically he is politically not his plan.
Wow.
He is, he's a Zogo, political Zogo.
Okay.
He is saying he wants to see the minds of people.
That whole senator you call it. Go ahead.
Yeah, the development that they carry on. He wants to see the minds of people. The way he comes to power, that the same way he wants use to convince the people, but the development that person we are carrying on and helping them, and really helping them. So the only thing now he won't do now, he feel he can stop it. But I know the other senator and I think I heard the every flow that I respect a lot. I know that he knows better what good for a country.
Okay.
So I know that you're not mad that man. That man will come to power to their people regretting why they're voting on. So he wants attention. That man has attention he's looking for. Why he's talking, it makes no sense. That when president get on development, will put it in their knee. That in a some person, someone will go to school, I call as an educated person, that the thing is supposed to be talking, when president get on development, that the representative can go for, or that when you go, chicken the party, you call the people,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling.
When I listen to that man,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alexa, the last person, then we go home. This is the last person. 1 minute. 1 minute. You're the last. No time.
Good day.
Good evening.
Good day to both of you. Good day to Liberians.
You're the last.
I'm Junkins Morris, head of the movement to protect Ambassador Weah's legacy more power. Basically, KOK, Senator DeLong, in my mind, with all due respect, is a fraudster. Senator DeLong had committed perjury, as you may be aware. Senator DeLong tries to paint himself white while he portrays those other senators as being the people with black. But the actuality behind the attitude and character of this senator is fake. This is a senator who said he was the light and he went at the legislature to bring sanctity to the legislature and transform the lives of our people. The senator immediately taking office in less than a week, he bought a new vehicle worth almost $75,000. This is a senator who traveled to the United States riding the highest class on the plane or on the flight.
Thank you. Thank you.
This senator does not have integrity
Thank you.
to speak on national issues that should move our country forward. So I want to say in closing, Senator DeLong, please wait some more. We are facing serious national progress right now. You are not amongst those persons that should be talking when we are facing development.
Thank you. Thank you, Junkie Morris, the chairman to protect President Weah's legacy. This international caller is the only
Our
exception.
last caller. Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know if good afternoon, KOK and Alexa. This is J. Alfonso Declared. Alfonso is there, commonly known as on Facebook.
Go ahead.
And I'll be with you guys soon in Liberia. But this is the issue that is very important. I decided to call and be part of this unique discussion.
Quickly.
You see, Khan, Oliver Khan. in America, when we were hit by the COVID-19, the president proposed to Congress and told them that there was a need to subsidize and to help family members. That president was a Republican president, that was Donald Trump. But the Democrats saw it necessary that the people needed this particular help. So they never choose on party sentiment. They supported the president request on national concern. Now with Darrell Dillon, I think Dillon is operating in the stretch of his elastic. Dillon cannot go beyond that. That is the knowledge of Dillon or senatorial position is at the point that to fight government, to oppose anything that government brings. That's how they don't understand opposition.
Thank you.
And my regret, let me get close with this. My regret is that my only regret is not that Dillon is fighting the president project, but if the other senators who are well astute with align with Darrell Dillon,
they will not join. The senators are not. Yeah, the senators are not.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The senators are not. Until we return here on tomorrow, it has been a wonderful time here on 87.9. Kind Oliver Kind, Princess Alexa Vanjakali, Abraham, DJ Baby Boy. The new guy is taking over from us. Keep listening to 87.9. Bye-bye.